There's a moment that still comes back to me. Getting in the car to head to the airport again. And my wife is standing in the driveway holding our 2-year-old son, and he is crying and reaching out for me. He doesn't want me to leave. And I remember thinking, I worked so hard to build this life, and yet in that moment, it felt like something was breaking inside of me. Not loudly, but quietly. If I could talk to my younger self, and honestly, I picture two versions of my younger self. I'd start there. The scared kid who grew up in chaos, never really staying in the same school, always adapting, always surviving. And then there's that other version, the 20-something version of me that was full of ambition, certain, driven, confident. And now I can see that using ambition as a way to heal what never felt safe. I didn't chase success because I loved money. I chased it because I thought it would prove my worth. Back then, success, it meant independence. It meant security. It meant freedom. Being able to take care of myself, provide for the people I love, see the world. Because I never traveled when I was a kid. And then when I came to faith, I brought all of that ambition with me. I believed that faith should produce good outcomes. That if I trusted God, things would go well. That blessing meant comfort. That struggle meant I must be doing something wrong. I didn't realize how transactional my faith had become. Somewhere along the way, I started treating God less like a father and unfortunately more like a genie. There's a verse in Psalms 23 that says, "He makes me lie down in green pasture." And that word makes, it matters. Because I didn't know how to slow down. I only knew how to push. Ambition worked at first. Hard work led to opportunity. Opportunity led to financial freedom. I worked for a few different corporate companies and then I joined a startup. I was well paid. I was climbing, but the pressure was relentless. There was no balance. It was all in or nothing at all. And that's when it happened. That moment in the driveway. Everything I had worked for, it was working, but yet it still felt empty. And later, when that startup was acquired and I got that payout of all my shares, the thing that I thought was the point of it all, I felt it again. That hollow feeling. Money wasn't motivating me. Achievement stopped satisfying me. And honestly, that scared me. If I could talk to my younger self, I would tell him this. Just because you can keep going doesn't mean you're supposed to. Shortly after that time, my faith, it started unraveling too. Not disappearing, but deepening. Early on, I had gone to Uganda and I saw something in that country that broke my framework. People with almost nothing, but they had more joy than I'd ever seen. And I realized something very uncomfortable. In America, we have everything, and we're exhausted, we're anxious, and we're unhappy. That trip showed and exposed how much of my theology was shaped by comfort. I also started realizing how isolated I had become. Friendships were the first thing to go. Community felt optional. And I was told directly by a pastor that closeness was dangerous in leadership, that I needed distance, that I needed boundaries, I needed status. As if that time when I was a pastor, it made me somehow different or above. No, it didn't. It just made me lonelier. Leaving the church role was a single moment followed by a long season of grief, anger, and relearning. I was angry at manipulation, angry at unhealthy leadership, angry at how calling had been framed. I came from a culture where pastor was treated as the highest calling, and anything outside of that was seen as lesser, or perhaps even selfish. But here's what I wish I had known earlier. God doesn't only work through titles. He works through surrender. Ministry doesn't stop because your role changes. For a long time, I believed that if I wasn't needed, I wasn't worthy. But the truth is this: I'm worthy because God made me worthy. Not because I perform, not because I produce, not because people depend on me. Today, ambition looks different. It's not gone, it's just healed. It's rooted in God's identity, not mine. I don't chase balance anymore. I chase rhythm. My priorities are clear: God, family, and then everything else. Success now looks like the quality time with the people I love, presence, margin. Excellence only shows up when I surrender control. If I could sit across the table from my younger self, I would tell him this: know your why. Because if your why is money or approval or proving something, you'll never arrive. And when you do hit that number, you're just going to ask, now what? Uh, Listen, I personally, I'm not done. I'm just beginning. I know I'm called to write, to speak, to coach, to raise my two boys with presence and intention. And if you're listening to this and you feel tired or stuck or afraid that slowing down means failing God, let me leave you with this. What if the thing you're afraid to let go of isn't what God is asking you to hold on to anymore?